In front of us, to the left, these houses up in the mountain. This is today where the wealthiest of wealthiest people live. The newest of homes for the rich. Movie stars, entrepreneurs, corporate people, politicians, professional sports people, sugar mama, sugar daddies, maybe one or two tour bus drivers. I've always wanted to be the third. The mafia, the syndicate, the cartels, the drug lords. Ladies and gentlemen, we have crime like every major city in the US of A. The only reason why most of you think everybody's so nice in Hawaii is because you're always taking tours with us. Heck, we gotta be nice because most of us are on parole. Just joking, just joking, just joking. Just adding a little bit of humor in there. You know, it's really funny. On this tour today, with all the information I'm going to give you, you're not going to remember that much of what I tell you. You're going to remember only about 10% of what I tell you on this full day tour. You'll remember about 65% of what you see. Somehow you remember more of what you see than what you hear. The other 25% will be lost. Some of you in here at one time or another probably will be thinking of home. Who's watering the plants, feeding the animals, kids burn the house down, wreck the car, how's the job back at home, things like that. How many of you in here are already called home? Okay. How many of you in here left snow behind? There you go. Did you folks know that it snows here in Hawaii? Up on the mountains, on Maui, and on the big island of Hawaii. The tallest mountain range on this island is just over 4,000 feet. And last week it was pretty cold. We had some pretty cold days last week for the first time in about a year. Up in the mountains it was like 49, 48. Down below here, 52, 53. To you that's not cold. But a lot of our homes are not insulated. A lot of our homes are also built on stilts for ventilation. So it does get pretty cold. And on the island of Maui, over 10,000 feet, we have snow up there. On the big island of Hawaii, just under 14,000 feet. So those two islands, we have snow on the mountaintops. We love to go to the mainland, play in the snow. And then when we get tired, we're lucky we get to come back home. A lot of people come here and tell us we're lucky to live in Hawaii. Do you think we're lucky to live here? It's okay, but we're stuck on a rock. There's only 3 freeways on this island. H1, H2, H3. Go too fast, go too far. H2O. Water all around. So we can only go so far. The automobiles, take notice of the license plates. You don't see very many out-of-state license plates. Kind of hard for them to drive over here. If you do see any, majority of the owners happen to be in the military. They're allowed to have one vehicle shipped over for free. Oh, this lady in front of us is having a hard time with her umbrella. You see that? It popped, it reversed. There was a gust of wind, and oh yeah. It happened to me too several times before. I'm sure it's happened to some of you too. Oh, by the way, the car in front of us to the left, see the rust on the roof? Yeah. I hear in Australia, in some states, you cannot drive with rust on your vehicle. Is this true? In some states. Yeah. Here in Hawaii and most of the U.S., even if there's a rust where your head can go through, if it's working, it's okay. Am I right? Those of you from the U.S.? Yeah. Making sure that your windshield wipers are working, your horn's working, your signals are working, no problem. Hey, there's a classic car in front of us on the far left, the convertible. I don't know. Does anybody know what it is? Is it a Thunderbird? Wow. Classic. See, the car right next to him just honked at him. Yeah. What year did you say it was? 57. His license plate You got it personalized. It says man something. Manu, 57. You're right. Very good. Yeah, this guy in this truck in front of us with the rust is also checking out this car. Look at him. Look at him. He's looking at him. See? He's looking at him. And the guy in the blue car is telling the guy in the truck, hey, fix the rust on your roof. Residential area to the left. It's called Hawaii Kai, built for the middle upper class residents. Want to go boating, want to go shopping without your car? Open your back door on the left. Hop on your boat, take it to the mall. This is Moanalua Bay on the right. Jet skiing, parasailing, right here. Has anyone in here ever ate chicken in Hawaii at any time? I heard a yes. How was it? Not bad? So-so? Good? All right. Take a look to the right in the ocean. Have you noticed you don't see no seagulls? Chicken was okay. Good. Well, the only reason why we have no seagulls, we are thousands of miles from the nearest continent. Most birds will not fly more than 300 to 500 miles away from shore. That's where most of the food is located. And being that we are close to the equator line, our tides only vary 2 to 3 feet. Other continents around the world, 10, 20 feet or more. Anybody ever been to Nova Scotia? The Bay of Fundy? The tide? 40 to 60 feet. You can actually see the water rushing in and rushing out. Okay, so the mountain in front of us, slightly to the right, is actually a crater, Hanama crater. It never fully developed, turned into a beautiful bay, which we call Hanama Bay today. There is a classic movie, Blue Hawaii, 1962 or 63, with Elvis. The beginning of the show, he was lying on his surfboard on the water. It was at Hanama Bay. These trees on the left, all lined up here. Take a good look, you might see some grapes hanging down from these trees. These are sea grapes. If you have a loved one who nags, yaps, could never be quiet, one of these sea grapes, they'll be quiet for the whole day. It's very high in alum, makes you dry and pucker up. Do we need to stop for anybody? Okay, here's some laughing, maybe. Tour drivers, we need about a dozen. There's another crater coming up on the left-hand side, Coco Crater. K-O-K-O. Coco stands for red or blood. Back in the day, in the 1700s, before we had kings and queens, the islands had chiefs all around the island. Whenever a chief in this area had a bone to pick with another chief close to this area, they fought in the crater. Now, there's a line going up there. There used to be a cable car going up there during the war. Used to be a radar station up at the very top. A lot of people like to hike up there. Right now, I can see at the bottom there's about good 8 to 10 people walking up. In the middle, maybe about 5 or 6. Almost at the very top, take a look at blonde girl, yellow tank top, blue shorts. Why are you laughing? She just opened up her water bottle. Yeah. But yes, you can see the people hiking just below the halfway point. And if you don't see them, when you go back home, go see your eye doctor. Because I can see quite a bit of people up here. Red shirts, tan shirts, maybe one semi-white shirt. Take a look now. Can you see them? Just below the halfway point. And at the bottom, they're climbing up or coming down.
How high is that peak?
Take a wild guess.
2,000.
No. It's just over 1,000 feet. Yeah. The tallest mountain range on this island is just over 4,000 feet. Yeah. Diamond Head Crater, just around 700 feet. Oh, look at all those people hiking at the bottom part, just below the bottom, just above the bottom, quite a bit. We're slowing down now because there's a lot of cars trying to turn right. I'm assuming that the parking space for the vehicles is all taken, so they're turning cars away. Hopefully they're not turning tour buses away, because there are days they turn us away too because it's too busy. Oh, people walking the trail on the right. Good luck. Do you folks have snakes back home?
Yes.
Poisonous?
Yes.
We only have 2 and they're both in the zoo. That's it. Over the years, people have smuggled in non-venomous snakes, boa constrictors. We found 3 last year. The biggest was just over 9 feet long. They bring them in as pets. When they get too big, they let them go. Now, before 9/11, you could smuggle snakes in your pocket, a baby snake. Kind of hard to smuggle in a poisonous baby snake because it's still poisonous. Yeah. But today, kind of hard to smuggle anything in because we have a full body x-ray. Am I right? Yeah. So on your map, we're at the bottom right-hand corner right now. Coming up to Hanauma Bay. Parking lot is full. But will they let us in? Taxis can go in. I got my signal on. Is he gonna let me in? We're in. Diamond Head Crater is directly behind us. So when I turn right, look behind us to the right. Way back to your right. There it is. We've traveled quite a ways, haven't we? Ladies, when we get down here, there's one place I highly recommend you go to first, and that is the restroom facility. Please go there first because there's usually a line for you. There's a good reason why there's a line for you women. It's because the men built it. If you built it, ladies, you make more facilities for you. Right. Okay. These hedges to the right, to the left, the brown pods, they're called koa, holly koa. The brown pods, inside of them, with these tiny little brown seeds, they look like apple seeds. We boil them to make it soft, and then we string it up, make it into a lei, seed leis. Well, we don't do it. We send it to some other countries. Yeah. Labor is cheaper in other countries, right? Oh, yeah. The trees on the left-hand side, they get bigger than this. They're called keawe trees. These are the ones that we cut down, burn, make into charcoal for barbecuing. Some of you in here may have heard of mesquite. That's it, mesquite. So, we got 15 minutes here, folks. Please watch your time. Please don't go beyond the restroom.
Chickens.
Chickens. Wild.